Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Page number 263 and 264. When we look at all this, it is clear that though the Vedas do talk of many things, put together, the purpose is to draw out attention to one main issue or Raksham. Then the question can still remain as to why should the Vedas go about it in such an indirect way. That one subject matter can only be known or understood or even comprehended only by the use of many methods: yoga, dhyana, tapas, yajnas and velvi, daily prayers and nitya karma anushtanam, conduct of marriages, running of government, social life, carpentry, tactics and strategy, poetry and architecture, sculpture and music, all of them finally led you on that one essential truth, which is the purpose of Vedas to draw our attention to. That one ultimate, call it what you want, is the one and only real thing. Everything else is all changing into something else, disappearing, vanishing, disintegrating to nothingness, without a trace of their having been, with no evidence or footprints even. The trouble is that all the other transitory, ephemeral, temporary, short-lived, fleeting, impermanent, momentary things are only ones that come within our purview or perspective. Though through all that, the Vedas has to guide us to the one and only everlasting permanent truth. Once again, there are many paths as there are people in this world. Your path may not be suitable to your own kith and kin. So Vedas keep all the avenues of access open for the sake of all and sundry. If we have to know the truth being pointed out by the Vedas, our minds should be trained to come back to that one idea repeatedly. For this, we have to have some disciplinary practice to bring the mind and body under semblance of control. To keep the body trim with exercises, pranayama and yoga, to do yoga, to give alms to the poor and needy, do tapasya, help in building temples, do social service, and so on, are all methods of cleaning and controlling one's own body and mind only. All that is part of chitta vriddhi nirodha, that is, to block the mind from its habitual oscillations. All the methods are directed at enabling us to turn towards the right direction so as to move closer to the understanding of that one truth. Veda means to know. By understanding that, which would be tantamount to understanding everything to be known, is the Atma. All the things of this world are God's footprints, says the Upanishad, Pradaharanyaka 1.4.7, meaning that to point out and announce about the Atma is the purpose of all Vedas. Whether it is the whole lot of karma actions at the start of the Vedas or the actionless jnana of the end part of the Vedas, also known as Vedanta, that start of the start and end of the end is all about Ishvara or Paramatma. While offering a flower to the statue of God or welcoming a Mahatma among our midst, we chant a mantra, Ya Yo Vedado Pradyoksho Vedanteja Pratishtitaha Tasya Prakadli Tasmai Yaparasya Maheshwaraha, meaning the one who is mentioned in the early parts of the Vedas and established in the end of Vedas, also known as Vedanta, also is the same and one only God. The karma of the early portion of the Vedas and the jnana of the end portion of the Vedanta are not cross purposes. Thousands of varied karma and the one like jnana are different only in terms of methods and means to achieve the one and only mission. It can also be compared with so many paths and trails up to the mountain and only one pinnacle of eminence. All the actions recommended by the Vedas for practice by the aspiring sadhakas is to enable him to realize his own self, the subject. There is no other object of the Vedas, but the greatest trouble is that the sadhak's own five senses are directed towards everything of the world other than his self. That apart, he takes granted as the body, mind and intellect complex. Kathopanishad talks about it 4.1. When we are not listening to the lecture and paying attention elsewhere, we are said to be distracted. For that, the phrase used in Tamil is Parag Parkiran, and the Sanskrit word for that is Paramukhaha, meaning looking out, all the time and never looking in. So, if you simply say, don't look elsewhere, pay attention, no one is going to listen. Make him or her do many things which are individually, personally ennobling and elevating, and socially, collectively useful and beneficial. Slowly but surely, the person is trained to look inwardly. Integration is taught after the student has learned about differentiation. That knowledge of knowing everything else but known can only be known after the due process of knowing, analyzing, and evaluating has been learned. Short of it, you may pick up a piece of gold or a diamond and throw it off as a dirt. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. Rama 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 Rama.